This is a computer game created for the Raspberry Pi Pico with the Pico Explorer. In my earlier video I showed how to create sprites using the Pico Display pack. In this video I've taken those techniques to create a simple interactive arcade style computer game. This includes collision detection and a combination of bitmap sprites and vector images. The game is written in MicroPython and achieved by replicating some of the features of the Pygame Zero actor class. This will make it easier for someone who has previously written games in Pygame Zero to be able to create a similar program on the Raspberry Pi Pico. This does have some significant limitations due to the size of the screen, the number of buttons and the performance of the Pico, which I'll cover during this video. I've based this on a game from my book Beginning Game Programming with Pygame Zero. Specifically, this is based on my space shooter game, which involves a spacecraft flying through an asteroid field, having to shoot asteroids out of the way. This is a complete game with the ability to move around and shoot asteroids, but it's been kept fairly simple due to the performance of the Pico. In my earlier video, I'd explained how I created a sprite class, which displayed a small bitmap image on the Pico display screen. This needed the images to be stored in a specific sprite format, and I also created a program that converted a PNG file to that format. This expands on that example, but instead of the Pico Display pack, this is designed for the Pico Explorer, which has a slightly larger screen, which has a resolution of 240 by 240 pixels. The code can be adapted for either display, but the larger screen format works better for this kind of game. To make this easier for anyone who has programmed using Pygame Zero, I created a simplified actor class, which is similar to the actor class used in Pygame Zero. This creates a sprite, known as an actor, from a bitmap image. The sprite is a draw method, which shows the sprite on the screen. It can be moved around the screen using the X and Y coordinates and can be rotated to face a different direction. There are some limitations to this, which are necessary to keep the amount of memory on the Pico and also to achieve an acceptable performance. One example I've already mentioned is the need for the files to be provided in a specific format. Another is that the rotation is only performed in 90-degree increments. In the case of rotation, you can specify the angle of rotation in smaller degree increments, but it will only rotate when it gets closer to the next increment. The position of the sprite is based on the centre of the sprite, although it should be possible to add additional code to translate between different positions if that is required. This is a quick recap of the actor class code. I'll just quickly skim through the code. The constructor needs the display object to be passed to it. This is so it knows the extent of the display and how the actor will behave when off the screen. There is a new attribute, Enable Transparency, which can be disabled if you would like to be able to show true black colour instead of transparency. The image and angle are set using the Python property function. This allows methods to be called when the attribute changes, such as to validate the entry or to load a new image. The image is stored in the raw format in a byte array known as image_data. The draw method is responsible for copying the pixels from the sprite byte array directly into the byte array used for the screen. This needs the display buffer to be provided as an argument. Then the draw method also handles the rotation of the image by reading the pixels in a different order based on rotation, which is handled using the getSpriteData method. For the game design, I've taken an object-oriented programming approach. Here is a simplified view of the different classes and how they interact. I've deliberately not used proper UML diagram for this. The diagram is made simpler to make it easy to understand, showing how the objects relate to each other. In the Pygame Zero version of the game, I used sprite images for the asteroids. In this version, I've just used different sized circles instead. My reasoning is that I believe that will help with performance, although it's not something I've actually tested. This example does show how you can use sprites and vector images in the same game. One of the main limitations with using the Pico Explorer and also the Pico Display pack is the number of buttons. Ideally, this game would work better with a 4-way joystick along with an additional fire button that would allow the spacecraft to move in the X and Y directions. With only 4 buttons available, it's only possible to move in the X direction and then fire using the other buttons. I did consider adding more buttons to the Explorer using the built-in breadboard, but that would have meant the buttons being in a difficult position for playing. This has shown that it is possible to create a full game using MicroPython along with object-oriented programming. It does, however, have limitations in terms of performance due to the capability of the Pico. If you do want to get the best performance for game programming, then you may want to look at using C, or perhaps reducing the object-oriented hierarchy. This would be a trade-off between easy to program and understand versus performance. Another thing that can be used for would be creating an interface to an electronics project where you wanted a graphical display. This would not necessarily need the same performance as the game, so would be a better fit. This would be similar to something I've done previously in my video Pygame Zero for makers. See the video linked above. There are more details on my website, including the source code. See the links in the description. I hope this has been useful. You may need to study the source code to understand this fully, and I've included quite a few comments to explain what is happening. It should at least provide some information for those interested in using bitmap sprites with the Raspberry Pi Pico or the other microcontrollers that also support MicroPython. I'll be covering different projects in future, including the Raspberry Pi Pico, guides to programming and other maker-related topics. Please give the video a thumbs up if you like the video, or leave a comment below if you have any suggestions for future videos. I look forward to seeing you on my next video.